Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
ये बताइए कि ये फार्मर्स को गुस्सा क्यों आ रहा है? Why are these people hanging out in such bad weather? Last night we had a bad hailstorm also, but they are not budging. And there seems to be a very strong emotional impulse to it. You shared that little song that these two young women have made, Diliye Sun Diliye, and it's a very emotional song. So where is this emotion coming from? What are they worried about? And then I will ask you, how would you handle it? Because you know that mind better than anybody else.
Shekharji, let me tell you what you see today. This is not only the today's perspective and recent the farmers. I think what today you see is basically the outburst of the farmers, because right from last more than 70 years after the independence, farmers have not got the due share of economic prosperity of India after independence. I'm not blaming any government, I'm not blaming any. You see, when India got independence, average rural family income or urban family income was more or less same. Then India developed, everybody very happy, $3 trillion or $5 trillion. But disparity between the rural farmer income and the urban increase, now today it is 1:5. Indian rural farmer income is only $600 and urban is now $3,000. What, like you said today, it has become more of emotional issue than the rational issue. And जी, like, बच्चे ने जिद पकड़ ली है. Okay, अभी as a parent, you have to see whether you have to agree with the jid or you have to persuade him some better thing. Because as a parent, you are doing good for him or for her, you know. And intentions are good. Marketing reforms were required last so many decades. Everybody was saying that you are, you have freed the industry in 1991. Why farmers are not getting the due, why they are not able to sell to anybody they want. A lot of inefficiencies have come in the supply chain. Lot of corruption has come because of monopoly of a government body or the APMCs. But I feel the way it has happened, farmers have not liked it or farmers have not communicated. So, बच्चे ने जिद पकड़ ली है. So now it's up to the parent how to take care of that.
That in principle, you think these farm laws are good for the farmer.
Yes.
But government has failed to communicate to the farmers and farmers are suspicious. So maybe it is time right now to step back.
Yeah, but step back also you have to see the consequences that tomorrow, it may set the very bad precedent for any, and you know, it is not only now it has become, besides the farmers' emotional, it has become also slightly political also. So naturally, government has to weigh both the sides. So it's a very tricky position, and I don't know how government is thinking. But whatever we say, intentions have been good. One has to see how whatever marketing reforms government has proposed, they are not able to communicate that how farmers will get benefit of it. Because what farmers are getting, industry is going to get benefit. And once industry comes, they are going to exploit farmers. Let me tell you, there are no doubts, if monopoly of industry comes, they are going to exploit farmers. They are not going to give the benefit of value addition to the producer or food producer. See, basically, because their objectives are different. Like you said, urban managers. So you have to, like in case of milk, or if farmers-owned organization would have been brought in this to marketing reforms or investments that would have been made, and then private industry would have also been invited. So efficiency in the supply chain would have come.
So how will you increase the incomes of farmers, say, in the Green Revolution Zone? Green Revolution Zone is Punjab, Haryana.
You are right. हाँ, बिल्कुल सही है. शेखर जी, ऐसा है कि whatever you say, economy has to run on demand and supply balance.
Right.
You can't say that मैं तो paddy produce करूंगा, मैं तो sugarcane produce करूंगा, चाहे इंडिया में जरूरत है कि नहीं है. Right? You see, right now, India is self-sufficient in food except 2-3 categories where we are importing a lot. One is this edible oil, 75,000 crore, and lot of pulses. One is that area. So one has to see that how diversification of crop happens. MSP is good. You see, MSP is good, but you have to see you give more MSP in the crops and execute it also, like in edible oil seeds and pulses, where you import. So farmers are. Second is like you overproduce paddy and sugarcane and then you give subsidies to export it. I don't find, I mean, and also 60% of India's available water is used only for these crops. This paddy, sugarcane. See, what happens is urban consumer want cheap food. Okay, and when you say cheap food, low inflation, what does it imply? Farmers, the fellow who is producing food, his income should not increase. India's GDP should increase by 7%, but farmers' income should not increase by 7% because that is inflation. And why you want cheap food? Because you want industrial wages to be low. If food price increase, industrial wage, and if industrial wages increase, industry profit will go down. So what is happening? We are subsidizing Indian industry at the cost of food prices. We have to see that farmers is encouraged to produce more at any cost.
But encouraged to produce more of what will be remunerated for the farmer. So
demand supply.
How do we break out of this wheat, rice, sugar?
Yeah. See, if you see average farmer's income is 7,000 rupees or 6,500 as per NSO.
Per acre?
No, I'm talking per month.
Per month, okay.
Family.
Okay.
Out of that, 48% from the farming or agriculture crop, what you are talking, which is growing at the rate of 3% or 3.5% now. Animal husbandry is only 12%, but growing at the rate of 14%, and then the other remaining. So one has to see that where to invest more. So you should invest more where growth opportunities work more. And animal husbandry is what is producing is basically protein and fat-rich food.
Right.
And in India, with the prosperity coming, consumers have upgraded themselves from carbohydrate diets to more protein and fat-rich, affordable and tasty diet. And animal husbandry, be it milk or poultry or fisheries, it fulfills all these things. So what is required? We should invest in animal husbandry. We should invest more in edible oil. We should invest more in pulses or horticulture or foods where demand is increasing. But how to shift people, farmers of Punjab or Haryana, from paddy to these crops? Why not grow more fodder and milk, produce more milk instead of growing a paddy? Milk is a cash crop. Now, one thing. Now, if you see the agriculture budget, out of the total India's budget, which will be coming on the 1st February, you see in agriculture budget, animal husbandry contribution to the agriculture GDP is around 27%. But when it comes to spending on animal husbandry by the central or state budget, it is only 6 to 7%. Why? Because it's the old green revolution time, you continue to spend more on fertilizer, 75,000 crore rupees on fertilizer subsidy, power subsidy, and seed subsidy, and priority loans, and no income tax. So you are not looking into the new avenues, new opportunities, and keep investing in the whole thing. So naturally, if I'm getting free power, MSP, ample of water, subsidized fertilizer, subsidized seeds, priority loan, I should look into other areas.
Shekharji, if I give you, Amul was 18th about 5 years back as well as world. Today we have 8th. When Prime Minister had come last time to Anand to inaugurate our chocolate factory, that time he has given us challenge that I want to see Amul in first 3 or first 5 of world in next 5 years. So we have taken challenge. And today we are 8th. Because we are growing at the rate of 8 to 9% in milk processing, actually. But all the top companies are not growing.
Right.
So there be so we will definitely achieve it, because let me tell you where growth is there. India is what largest producer of milk. India is what largest market of milk, and India is what fastest growing market for milk and milk products. So we are located at the right place. And also in India, dairy is a livelihood for 100 million rural families. So we have got confidence, one side 100 million families, and the other side 1.35 billion consumers. So that will take us. And let me tell you, Amul is only operating one part of one country. Okay, little bit we are going out. But all these dairy processing companies who are above us in the world ranking, somebody is operating 50 countries, somebody is operating 70 countries. So Amul is the only in a small location. So it shows that masses can also become big if they aggregate and they are linked to the market. I'm very happy the present government for the last 5 years have started encouraging local production by increasing import duties from 0.5% to 30-35%. I'm very happy. But what I want to request, they should not reverse it. Let it continue.
They should not reverse it. So
Yeah.
So in my free market world, you will be called a protectionist.
Shekharji, you give me one country which is not protectionist for their agriculture produce. You know, USA, they are giving $860 billion subsidy to the agriculture. And they are only 2% farmer dependent on the agriculture in USA. On dairy, they are giving $85 billion. See, but they are very smart people. WTO wise. See, my boss, Dr. Varghese Kurian, used to tell me this WTO is nothing but a tool invented by agriculture-rich or saturated countries to exploit the developing world. So, I mean, government of Gujarat gave us some incentive last year to export some milk because we had a lot of, they have filed 3-4 cases on us. And same Europe is giving last so many years incentives on export, but what they have named it? Storage incentive scheme. They don't call export. So they all store billions of dollars. They call it storage incentive scheme. So first they store it, for that they give incentive to farmers, and they export because that incentive already given. So each country is doing. Canada has got 200% duties. You name the country, any country, they have got hefty duties on milk on agriculture produce. This earth owns by whom? Everybody on this earth, irrespective of country body. So I've got the same right of methane emission what a resident of USA has got. Okay, now you take data. Per capita methane emission is how much in USA, how much in Europe, and how much in India. You see, you want to import bhindi or green vegetables from Kenya into the London bazaar, and they said there's no methane emission, and my farmer with 2 animals producing around 10 liters of milk and producing 20 liters of cow dung, and they say he's doing a lot of methane emission. First, you please see how much you are doing. And let me tell you, this methane emission or environment comes after livelihood. They have achieved the livelihood. Here, question of livelihood is there. That farmer may not be doing what is methane or leave the environment. So, I mean, you can't compare. You can't compare. But let me tell you now, new technologies come, which we are propagating is sex semen.
Right. So that means you only get female babies.
Yeah, it is opposite to the human being.
Right.
So now what we are propagating has started producing sex semen, when 95% chances are that you will get the female calf. So that is, you have to keep in mind that
ऐसा इंसानों को नहीं सिखा देना, नहीं तो हमारे दुनिया में फीमेल ही खत्म हो जाएंगी. अरे बंदे ही बंदे बचने, फिर क्या होएगा?
Ultimately, demand supply will play in the long run.
Sir, लेकिन even then, if you have a cow, even if you get 95% cows, at some point that cow ceases to be an economic.
Yes, you're right.
something
You're
like
right.
that. What do you do with the cow then?
You see, if religious bodies or sentiments are saying that you can't slaughter, you need to have cow shelters, you need to have budget for that, you need to spend money. So
But
both things have to go hand in hand.
But then you have to pay the farmer for the cow, no?
Yeah.
Because the cow has an economic value.
Bilkul. So that, you see, that is when the religious sentiments come, there are no arguments.
Right.
See, economic activity and religious are totally different.
So what is the farmer doing? Is the farmer then preferring buffalo over the cow because at least buffalo?
Yeah. You're right. You're right. Now buffalo production is growing. Earlier, cow used to grow. Last few years, we have seen the milk production of buffalo milk is increasing.
So do you have
Farmers are doing more for buffalo. Yeah.
Do you have any data right now of how buffalo milk is increasing?
I mean, whatever, like we get milk. I give example. 1982, when I joined Amul, we used to get 80% buffalo milk, 20% cow milk.
Right.
Then it reduced to around 50 over the last 38 years, 55-56% buffalo and 44. Now again this year, last few years, we have seen our buffalo milk production has gone up to around 58-59%. So gradually it increasing. And you see, let me tell you, whatever people say, buffalo milk has more nutritious, more milk solid, more sweeter, more calcium. I feel it is more healthy. You can see the health of the people who are consuming more buffalo milk. And farmers per liter cost of buffalo milk is 50% more than the cow milk.
Right.
And also let me tell you, whatever people talk, आप दिल्ली में बैठे हैं, कहीं पे भी बैठे हैं, the sale of our buffalo milk is going 3-4 times higher than the cow milk. People come, start consuming. Over a period of time, they start shifting more toward buffalo milk. Now come to nutrition. You just, आप शेखर जी कल ना एक पैक वो बाजार में सोया मिल्क और आलमंड मिल्क था उसका लीजिए, एक अमूल मिल्क का पैक लीजिए. Just read the ingredients. Milk will show only one ingredient, milk. It can be full cream, it can be toned, only one ingredient. And if you take this so-called PB almond or soya, there are 6 lines of ingredients, starting from vegetable oil, sucrose, flavors, stabilizer, emulsifier, chemicals. 22 to 24, these are nothing. This is not milk. It is factory manufactured chemical material. And nutrition-wise, this almond milk which is sold 3 to 4 times more costly than milk is not even 1/10 of our milk. So this is all Western lobbying. Foreign funded lobbies are working in India. And in India, you see, as per law, milk can only from bovine, cow, buffalo, or whatever other things. You can't write milk. It's criminal. But still these people are writing soya milk, almond milk, or oat milk.
Government has to then fundamentally get committed to not intervening to bring consumer prices down when they go up.
Long-term decision.
Long-term.
And confidence will come over a period of time.
Right. For example, every year we see this boom-bust cycle with onions. You either start imports or you ban exports.
अब immediately जैसे आपने बैन एक्सपोर्ट किया, प्राइसेस गिर जाएंगे, और यू इंपोर्ट देन प्राइसेस गिरेंगे, तो फार्मर्स हुए कल्टीवेटेड दे विल बी एट द लॉस. सो वो जाएंगे सेफ क्रॉप पैडी, एमएसपी पक्का है.
इसमें गलती मीडिया की भी है, क्योंकि जैसे ओनियन प्राइस बढ़ता है आंखों से आंसू आ रहे हैं, हाउस वाइफ का क्राइंग. और हाउस वाइफ में देखता हूँ जो जिसको मर्जी पकड़ लेते हैं, कोई ऐसा नहीं लगता है कि उसका 100 रुपए महीने में खर्चा बढ़ गया है प्याज के ऊपर, तो फैमिली बजट विल बी.
मीडिया इज आल्सो बिजनेस एंड व्यूअर्स आर टीआरपी. उनको टीआरपी चाहिए. टीआरपी विल कम अगर ऑनियन के प्राइस की बात करोगे.
ऑनियन की प्राइस बढ़ने की,
हाँ, तो उनको वही करना पड़ता है. सो इट्स अ बिजनेस मॉडल. But actually, leave aside media. It's the policy makers have to think.
Right.
One thing is good that everybody has recognized the importance and power of farmers. In future, any decision, if anybody policy maker, they have to keep in mind that farmers are not, I mean, you can take them granted. And they have been deprived. They have not got the share of wealth which they deserve. And we need to, I mean, if 60% of India is in rural India, I mean, overall policy has to be towards that only.
सर, अगर बच्चे ने जिद पकड़ ली है और आप बच्चे के पेरेंट हैं या अंकल हैं, तो आप मतलब पेरेंट है तो आप इसे कैसे संभालेंगे, और अंकल हैं तो आप पेरेंट्स को क्या एडवाइस देंगे, ये कैसे संभालो?
डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन, बिकॉज इफ बच्चे ने, आप मानते हो गलत इशू पे जिद पकड़ लिया तो यू आर मोर रिस्पॉन्सिबल, बिकॉज योर अपब्रिंगिंग ऑफ द बच्चा लास्ट 70 years, this is 70 years, okay, and the way of communication may not be correct, and I think maybe that detailing has not been properly. Intentions are good, but in detailing there may not be problem. अब बच्चे ने जिद पकड़ लिया as a parents, I think it's difficult. अब अल्टीमेटली बच्चों पेरेंट्स को झुकना पड़ता है.
तो सर, एक नई बात है आजकल के, जो देसी काऊ का दूध लीजिए उसमें A2 होता है, वो क्या सच्चाई है?
देखिए, साइंटिफिकली, आई मीन, A2 milk started from where? New Zealand.
I see.
Because New Zealand and market was saturated, Europe also. So it is a marketing gimmick ki how to, if in this competition, how to increase myself. So somebody launched A2 milk. क्या A2 milk? क्या कि A2A1 is a basically type of protein in the milk.
In the milk, yes.
And there are, let me tell you, no scientific evidence that A1 milk is better or A2 milk.
A2 is right.
अच्छा, पर फिर मैं बताता हूँ. You please rest assured, in India, what you are drinking is A2 milk only. Reason is all buffalo milk is A2 protein milk.
I see.
100%. All Indian cow milk is 100% A2 milk. All HF crossbred cow, 50% A2, 50% A1. So in India, 90% of milk produced is
A2 milk.
A2. So if somebody is charging you premium, it is because of their marketing genius. Otherwise, no health benefit, no nutrition benefit.